Huh?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, cinema peeps.
How's it hanging?
Welcome to another episode, quarantine edition of Talkie Tuesdays.
I don't think I've ever said how it's hanging. That kind of hurt me, actually. Let's pretend I never said that.
Rewind. Yeah.
Hello, cinema peeps. Wow.
Hello.
Pew, 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 pew. Gunfire. Pew, 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 pew. Rockets. Pew.
So technically, when we're recording this episode, it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
But when this podcast goes up and everybody else gets to hear it, it's going to be the following Tuesday, which is the Tuesday after Mother's Day. So happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Yay. We love our mothers very, very much.
Yeah.
We could not do this without you. And I guess 50% are fathers, but meh. Today is all about you, mothers of the world. Thank you.
Mama.
No, copyright. Don't say that. Don't trap me, Kendra. Don't you trap me. Stop trapping me. We have lots to talk about, but
I keep making a list just in case.
for sure what we talked about last Friday is because me and Kendra have been playing Man of Medan.
Dun, dun, dun!
And we actually just completed the story together last Friday.
We did.
So before I dive in, because I have a lot of thoughts on it, way too many.
I can't wait.
So before we dive into Kendra, just a quick background. The Man of Medan, or Medine, however you want to say it, is a game...
Man of Medan.
Medan is a game from Supermassive Games Company, published by Banco. And basically, it is a horror point-and-click adventure story type game.
Telltale, kind of.
A little bit telltale-y. The story of the Man of Medan is that this group of divers go diving.
They stumble upon a wreck, like a sunken war airplane.
Yeah. And basically, without giving too much of the story away, it all goes downhill very quickly, and they all get trapped on this ship, the Man of Medan.
And spookiness ensues.
Yes, it does. So now that we have a quick summary of the story, Kendra, what did you think? Did you enjoy your time playing?
I very much enjoyed playing it, just because I have played the previous game by the same creators, Until Dawn.
Yes, which is phenomenal.
Right? And you know me, I'm a horror nut, so I love all that kind of stuff. But yes, I actually quite enjoyed it. Like the aspect of being able to play with you, like we could play together kind of thing. I hope that they continue to do that route with some of the other games, just because it's a neat concept. Like we played online, obviously, but to know that like you were playing another character while I was playing a different one, and each of our decisions that we made on our own affected our gameplay together, and you wouldn't tell me what you would choose, and sometimes, sometimes I wouldn't tell you what I would choose. Other times I was just like, what do I do? Just start shouting things out.
Right?
Yeah, no, I thought that was a pretty cool feature of the game. As far as the jump scares go, I found they weren't too... I don't know. There weren't as many jump scares as like the Until Dawn one. I found that one to be a little more spooky for me. But I still liked the like mystery aspect and like everything that you discover as you go on with the story, and I like that aspect of it for sure.
From what I understand from my research, they are planning to continue that same concept of the online play with friends, and they also have another mode, which is basically couch co-op. You have 5 friends, everyone just takes control of a character, and you just pass the controller around when it's your turn to play.
Sweet.
They are planning to do that for future games. For a bit of a spoiler, if you don't want any spoilers for this game, I don't know how to work YouTube anymore. Maybe we'll flash a time thing or a jump cut or something if you want to not hear us talk about this. But if you're here, sorry, you're going to listen to us. Anywho's pickle. So as Kendra said, they are planning to make more games in this series of they call it the Dark Pictures Anthology series. Little weird title, but whatever. But they are planning to have 8 games in total.
Yes.
Which is crazy. And I read somewhere they're planning to try to release 2 a year, which so far hasn't gone well because the next game is coming out this summer, 2020. Hopefully, fingers crossed that nothing got delayed. But yeah, it seems like they are keeping with the idea that there's going to be at least 5 playable characters for you to play, and again, experience the story online or together, which I think is a really cool concept. I think they talked a little bit about it when they made their other game, Hidden Agenda, because they were watching people play Until Dawn online, and they realized so many of them were playing with their friends. And there was like this aspect of, playing together. They actually created Hidden Agenda after that and that was their kind of primary focus. That one's pretty okay. You could pick it up for a decent price. The only problem is there's no really online features, like you have to be in the same room as your friends.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks.
You can pick it up dirt cheap. It's not a bad experience to have. I rather enjoyed it. It did get a little bad taste in my mouth because me and my friend were trying to achievement hunt, so that took us a while.
I do like also that they have like just some notable faces in some of the games too. Like the first one, again, spoiler alert, what's his name? Rami Malek.
Yes.
Mr. Robot is in the first one, so is Hayden Panettiere,
right.
And then Katie Cassidy was in the Hidden Agendas, and this one had Sean Ashmore, which was pretty cool, who I also thought was his twin brother that I didn't realize existed, but...
Right? That's crazy. Yeah, they all do motion cap for the most part for everything. Like, we'll act out all the scenes and stuff, which is pretty cool. That was my thought. Speaking of characters, did you have any particular favorite characters in Man of Medan? Anyone you hated?
Favorite characters? Well, I mean... Obviously, Conrad, Sean Ashmore's character, who I unfortunately killed very early on in the game.
We were so close to saving him.
Yeah, we were. Rest in peace, Conrad. I don't know. They were all pretty. They were all pretty good. I'd say at first I didn't like Julia just because she was a little obnoxious at first. But again, like, how can you can't really, like, pick a favorite or a least favorite of the game because each one of them, like, each one of their personalities contributes to the story somehow.
Yeah.
I will say, though, like, from Until Dawn, what's her name? Emily, I think? I didn't like her just because of the one line that she would say at the beginning. It's just a prank hand.
Oh, if you ever play that game, they do, like, a recap every chapter. So, yes, you hear that so often.
So often, yeah.
And then the characters are like, it was just a prank. And you're like, yeah, we get it. You all suck as human beings. It's fine.
It's like the one thing you quote every time.
I think that helped to give it its B-movie vibe, which is what the producers or the game creators were going for. So it did work in its favor, but yes, it did get annoying.
But it's no different than, like, any other TV show that you watch. You know, Flash. My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive, or Supernatural, saving people, hunting things, the family business.
Woohoo! Ugh, what was my thought? I loved Conrad, even though he's definitely supposed to be portrayed as the dick. I enjoyed him quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, like, I didn't mind Fliss. And then, honestly, my next favorite characters were the pirates.
I was gonna say
Olsen and Junior, or not Olsen, sorry, he was the bad one, but Danny. They were my favorites, and then kind of everybody else falls to the bottom. I didn't like some of them a whole lot.
Some of them were kind of forgettable.
Alex made me want to bash my head against the wall. Like, he had, like, weird quotes. Like, I don't know what they were going for when he was like, and he had, like, talk about his metaphors with his brother. How does upgrading to medium bro sound, little bro? And I was like, like, it was just very painful.
Also, something I just realized, too, and maybe I just didn't pay attention to it, because even when my friend Kathy, shout out to Kathy, when she played and when we played, I noticed that Brad, you know, there was many a time where we were like, Brad's not looking so good, but did they ever touch on that? Or was that just supposed to be like a hint that he was kind of losing his mind from the Manchurian Gould?
Yes, I think it was just him going crazy.
Okay, I'm assuming they would probably touch on that if you got further into the storyline or did a different route.
Yes, because you can actually play a different route as Brad.
Right.
If you are successful and he hides on the ship, he actually sneaks on after everybody else, and he goes an entirely different route, which is really cool.
Oh, interesting.
And depending on what character you play and how much they are affected by the Manchurian Gold, this, like, basically it's a hallucinogenic. Nope. Basically,
hallucinogenic.
Thank you. Basically, it obviously makes you see things and go crazy and raises your heart rate up. Depending on what character you play, you see different things happen. So if you have Conrad on the ship, he starts seeing this, like, sailor girl.
Right.
She's just hidden in, like, corners. And I remember when I was playing with Kendra, she was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I tried to pretend like I was stupid because I've played it, like, so many times now, but I didn't want to ruin the experience for you. So I tried to be, like, not super deceitful, but, you know, not super helpful. You know what I mean?
Well, it worked.
Excellente. Overall, I loved playing the game. Sometimes the controls, like when you're walking in the ship, even though it did a very good job of making you feel claustrophobic, sometimes when you turned corners, it just inverted your controls, and then you're like, well, shit, nope, I'm going the wrong... Nope.
I feel like the first game did that too, and it was just a little jarring at first.
Yeah.
But I found too, I can't remember if we talked about this, but what are they called? The prompts that you have to do, like with the buttons where you have to hit them really fast. I found them to be a lot faster
Oh, yeah.
in this game than they were in Until Dawn.
Oh, yeah, 100%. These ones were way faster.
Like, you barely had a chance to, like, register it before it was like, ah, shit.
Yeah, and since I hadn't played my PlayStation for quite a long time, it was super jarring. So I screwed up so much in the beginning.
I missed having somebody near me yelling them out, because when I played Until Dawn the first time, Alana was the one who would just shout out what button I had to push every time. So she'd just be like, square, triangle, circle. And I'd be like, ah, okay.
Yeah, when we played it together, yeah, I was screaming them. I was like, oh, sorry. And my friends were like, no, keep going. I need to know. Just keep doing it. And I was like, okay. Because I don't want to be that person. That's overwhelming.
So then also, question for you, did you prefer, because I know the difference I noticed between the first game and this game was in the first game, when you had to hide and not be seen by somebody, you had to put the controller down or just be really still and hold the controller so that like that little area where your thing was, you couldn't trigger it or else it would make a noise. Whereas this time you actually had to like follow the heartbeat noises by pushing the button. Which did you prefer, if any?
I mean, at first I was for the button thing, because when in Until Dawn, yeah, there's these parts where you have to like stay still to hide from like the killer or hide from something. Yeah, you basically had to hold the controller and not move it. At some points I just stopped breathing, which isn't a good idea, but I just didn't want to like shake or anything.
Yeah.
So then when this was first introduced in Man of Medan, I was very excited, but then near the end it got ridiculously too hard and I was like, what? I can't do this.
Yeah.
And it stopped me from getting 2 achievements in the game. But after we were done playing on Friday, I actually got the last one that I needed and I got the last clue. So I platinumed it and I was very happy. Very, very happy. And because I'd got all the secrets, I unlocked all the bonus features.
Nice.
Which reminds me, when you come down, I gotta show you, because they're all movies.
Oh, cool.
So one is actually creation of like horror anthologies in general, like its evolution from like stories to radio to television to now video games. So I think you'd find that pretty interesting. It was pretty good.
Nice, yeah.
And then one of the last ones was a comic book. It was like a prequel. All these soldiers on the ship when they were alive. And it was actually really spooky because they'd have like sound effects that would go with it. You still had to read it, but it had like, you could hear the waves crashing if you were at that comic panel, or if there was someone running, you'd have them like running and breathing very heavily.
Oh, cool.
And that was it. There was no music or anything. And I'm in the basement alone, and it was very chilling, but it was actually really, really cool. So I hope they continue that in future games.
Yeah.
And the last thing I think I want to touch upon this, there is a sequel that's teased at the end of Man of Medan, the next game, which is called Little Hope, where you are a class, the bus breaks down in a town called Little Hope, where the Salem witch trials happened.
Yeah.
And so it looks like you might have to play between the past with all the trials and stuff and the present day with the kids and the teacher. And, I'm getting some real spook vibes, so I am 100% down.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I have such a fascination with, like, you know, the witchy, spooky stuff like that, but I do, and it's creepy, and I love it, and I'm down.
I'm just all for it. It was really funny to me how you picked up on it so early on when we were playing Man of Medan, and you noticed that Conrad's shirt said Salem, Massachusetts on it.
Yeah. It just seemed so out of place to me, and I was like, of all the shirts he could wear, why the Salem, Massachusetts one?
Because it's a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was looking back at some old trailers, he was definitely wearing a different shirt.
Was he really?
So I think that it was planned to be an Easter egg, but they didn't want to reveal it too soon kind of thing.
Interesting. My
only fear, though, with this series is, so far, like I've said, loving it. Could talk about it forever, but probably should do a new topic. But my one thing I am a little bit nervous for, like I said, they're planning to make 8 games. And right now they are in development of making the PS5.
Oh, yeah.
My fear is that when it comes out, they're all gonna maybe start releasing them on that one and not on the PS4 anymore. Which would be really unfortunate, because I don't really want to invest into another console. I say this every time. I don't want to invest, and yet somehow I'm throwing money at it.
Because they'd have to work on it being cross-compatible, I'm assuming, right?
That's my hope. So even if they do end up releasing the PS5, that they do make it that it's still available for PS4, I feel like that's probably what they're going for, but again, I have no clue. None whatsoever. The fact that they are trying to make 8 games, and because they're trying to release them out, I read somewhere twice a year, or even just once a year, I feel like you would have to keep it on the one console, so that way you didn't have to, like, reprogram everything for a new console.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they, like, maybe divided up the 8 games and did, like, 4 for the PS4 or 4 for the PS5 kind of thing.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
I know, but
Right? But yeah, that's kind of been my weekend. We were playing all those games, and once we were done that, I went back to a couple of my other games and did some achievement hunting, try to get some last of my achievements. So I played Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Oh, and then I played Batman Telltale Season 2, The Enemy Within.
Ooh, cool.
Ooh, it was so good, girl. Next time you come down, we're gonna have to play it because it is so good. That's a Caleigh recommendation right there. It's unfortunate though that Telltale did go out of business, but there is Season 1 and Season 2 of Batman.
Okay.
And I think right now you can get them as a double pack for a pretty decent price. I think it's on sale now. And I think by the time this podcast goes out, I think it might still be just on finishing up the sales. If you're looking for something interactive, and like I said, it's like a living comic book. It's really cool.
Nice.
It dives into like the Batman lore and changes up a couple things. Not too much, but enough where it's like, this is really interesting.
Cool.
And Season 2 is all about Joker, Harley Quinn, there's Bane, there's Freeze.
Nice.
There's big names. It was great. And I had a blast playing it.
That's awesome. Like, honestly, literally watching you play the, like, Arkham games in school, that was, like, my introduction to those types of video games and just video games in general. And to the DC universe, so... It all started with you.
Aw. I feel very sorry for you because I suck. I just remember playing because you could play as Catwoman in Arkham City. And she had this weird slide animation where she'd like completely go on her knees and then do like, you know, like she's playing the fucking, what is that game? How low can you go, you know?
The limbo?
Yeah, and she just goes completely flat, and you're like, oh, that's weird. So then I would do it, and I'd be like, I'm a slut, I'm a slut, I'm a slut, I'm a slut. So every time you're like, I mean, when you played that at college, that's all I can think about. I was like, yep, I'm a slut.
Yep.
I'm a slut. Big old slut. Oh, but yesterday was May the 4th be with you.
Yes, May the 4th be with you.
And they finally put up, I think they did it the day before, they put up the last Star Wars movie.
Yes, they did.
Our family is starting our new movie marathon, so we just watched The Phantom Menace last night.
Nice. Oh, so you're starting from, like, 1, 2, 3 that way?
Yeah, that's what we agreed upon. We had the discussion of whether it should be in that order or the order if it was released, so we just decided to go like that. And honestly, I'd rather just get the prequels out of the way. They're not super great. Like, I think Phantom Menace, for me personally, is probably the better one out of the 3.
I'd have to agree, and I'm wondering if it's just because it was, like, the big, exciting blockbuster movie that came out when we were younger.
Maybe?
Honestly, I don't... That's, like, for some reason, when I think of, like, past, like, theater experiences or movie-going experiences, that one always stuck out in my head, was going to see that one when I was younger, and I feel...
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it was, like, the very first movie I've seen in theaters, obviously, but for some reason, that one sticks out in my mind the most.
I do remember we were late to that movie, so we had to sit on the right-hand side, right next to the wall.
Oh.
So I do remember, like, we missed only, like, a couple minutes, but that's a weird movie memory that sticks out from that one.
Yeah.
But, man, I forgot how much, like, Star Wars politics there were. And I think it's a very heavy Star Wars politics for the first 3, and I'm just not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, meh. Because, like, I feel like the beginning of Phantom Menace is really good, and then you're plopped with the nonsense. And then there's pod racing, which is great, but then there's, like, the end battle.
Yep.
And I think that was really dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. I also forgot a whole lot about the next couple, but I just remember liking in what's the next one? Yeah, Attack of the Clones, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like the pit scene where they're all fighting those monsters. I remember that being one of my favorite scenes, and unfortunately, I think that's near the end of the movie, so I have to sit through 2 hours of more Star Wars politics and God knows what else. It's just too much. But, you know, we're gonna do it.
I think the storyline of Anakin's is probably the thing that kind of keeps you going through those movies, because you just want to know how he becomes, spoiler alert, Darth Vader.
Kendra, I didn't get to that part. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's true. Although, now thinking about it, I don't know if we're going to include, because after we finish those 3, we could technically watch Rogue One.
Yes.
That's right before episode 4, but And
tis true.
I have never heard my mother describe, like, there's movies where she's like, yeah, that's stupid, but I've never seen her have such hatred towards a film. Like, she hates Rogue One.
Really?
Because I think they went down to Arizona and they saw it with my aunt and uncle in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, did you like it? And she was like, that was like such a waste of my time. And I was like, what? She's like, I hated it so much. It's complete trash. And I was like, what?
Mama's just throwing the shade.
She was. She does not care for that film.
Oh my goodness.
Which is funny because I enjoyed Rogue One. I could see why maybe like you people don't like it, to be, you know, invested in characters that are just gonna die instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's a little sucky. I don't know. I still enjoyed it.
I did too.
Right? I think I enjoyed it more actually because that one came out after Force Awakens. Because that was when they were doing the ones in the middle, and I honestly preferred the newer Star Wars side quest ones.
Yeah.
Versus like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and then Rise of Skywalker. Get ready.
Oh my god.
I just realized like the prequels are gonna be trash, the middle's gonna be great, and the ending's gonna be trash. So good series to pick. Good job, us.
Well, I said you should have gone for Fast and Furious.
It's not on Disney Plus, Kendra. How am I supposed to watch it?
All right, sorry. My family and I watched Hobbs and Shaw this past weekend, so
Ooh.
it wasn't bad actually.
I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, but I obviously saw it play 100 times, the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, looks like it's good time to smash stuff and drive cars.
Yeah, there's good banter back and forth, and, you know, you get the action and stuff. There's one thing my dad and I were talking about. He commented on the film saying he's not a fan of some of the unrealistic stunts that they have in it now, and it's like...
What are you talking about unrealistic, Kendra? That scene where The Rock is holding a helicopter in the car is the most real scene I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
What are you talking about?
Well, I think in particular, like, when he made the comment, I think it's Idris Elba who, like, he's hopping on a motorcycle, or someone's hopping on a motorcycle, but the motorcycle, like, splits into 4 different things.
Oh.
Yeah. I was half paying attention at that point, but that was when he made the comment, and he's like, you know, I enjoy these, like, the movies and, like, the action and stuff like that, but it's just hard. It kind of takes me out of the film when they do these more kind of unrealistic things, because it just, you know that it's not something that could happen in real life.
What?
You know what I mean?
What? Kendra.
Hey, my dad's words, not mine.
I'm also now just fascinated. I can't believe you slept on that. Like, what kind of parts did it turn into? 4? Like, what are we talking? Like, was one a drone? Did he go on a smaller bike?
Well,
Was
that's
one
what
a gun?
I'm trying to remember, because it's like the bike just all of a sudden split into 4. Yeah, it must have been like drones or something, or 4 different, or maybe it was 4 different things that came together and turned into the motorcycle. I don't remember what it was.
Damn it, Kendra, come on.
I'm sorry, I know. But yeah, like, because the whole Fast and Furious, it's like they try to raise the bar every single movie into like how epic of a stunt they can do. And personally, I think it was either Fast 5 or Fast and Furious. God, okay. Like, it's like, The Fast and the Furious is the first one. Too Fast, Too Furious is the second one. The third one is Tokyo Drift. And the fourth one's just called Fast and Furious.
Very clear and cohesive.
Right? And then you got Fast 5. And then I don't even remember what the 6th one's called. And then there's Fast 7. Fate of the Furious is number 8. Fast 9. Like, oh my god, there's just too many.
How many times? How fast can you go in these cars? How fast?
Right?
How fast is too fast?
We gotta go even faster.
For family.
Hit the NOS switch.
I just like when they were driving. I don't know which one it was. They were driving on ice or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a tank. And then there's another one where there's like a crane with a moving fucking ball.
Right?
And it's like, is Miley Cyrus in this? Is this a promo? I think it was way after.
Hey,
we don't have the rights to that.
Sorry. I'm in a musical mood today.
Clearly. Been trying to trick me all day to sing songs. How dare you?
But, the other movie that, we watched 3 movies. So Hobbs and Shaw was the first one we watched. Then we tried to watch Extraction with Chris Hemsworth on Netflix, because I had heard it was a good action film. Agree to the action. Storyline kind of fell flat.
Oh, you heard it here, folks. Work on your story, Chris Hemsworth. Pew, pew, pew,
It was cool because, like, a lot of the stunt scenes, they tried to make it look like they were shot in one take. So that was pretty neat, but there wasn't enough of a storyline to stay invested with the characters, so I might have fallen asleep during the movie. But then we made up for it by watching the Bumblebee movie after that, and that one was really good, actually. I enjoyed it.
That's what I hear, but I stopped caring about Transformers a long time ago.
I did enjoy the first Transformers. I don't remember the other ones, but the first one was really good because it was so not unheard of, but it was so brand new for, like, I guess the CGI at the time. Mm-hmm. So, like, seeing how the Transformers unfold and hearing the like how they unfold and everything, that was amazing. And then after we went to Expo and got to hear Optimus Prime and Megatron in person, that was pretty cool.
Who also voices Scooby-Doo?
Yes,
my hero.
Yes. But yeah, no, I liked Bumblebee. It was cute and had good action in it, and yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing with the first one, no, I don't think, maybe I'm completely off my rocker, so if I'm wrong, absolutely. But I think it was back at a time, like, nobody asked for it. But, like, in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, like, nobody was like, we really need a live-action Transformers. And Michael Bay was like, yo, I'm all about the explosions. I got this. You know, and then it came out and everyone was like, wow. Like, we didn't know we needed it until it came out. And now
everybody gave Michael Bay such a hard time, but, like, I applaud him for that one. That one was a pretty good one.
Because, yeah, I don't think I saw Dark Side of the Moon. I think I skipped it. No, I didn't watch the third one. I think I watched the fourth one with, was it The Last Night or something with Michael Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, that guy. The burgers.
Mark and the Funky Bunch?
Yeah, and the burgers.
And the burgers, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I watched that one, which was it was like 3.5 hours. There was no need for that movie to be 3.5 hours.
Jeepers.
That one was painful. And then I think one came out after that, but I don't, like I said, I gave up. I was like, no more. So I know when everyone was like, Bumblebee's really good, I was like, I just don't care. But you know what? Maybe I'll give it a shot. If you say it's good, maybe I'll give it a shot.
I was going to say, now that you've had time to, you know, kind of not think about it after a while, highly recommend it. It's very good.
Maybe next movie marathon, Transformers.
Yeah. Oh my god, I might have to do that. Because I think they're all on Netflix.
Are they?
If I'm correct, I think they're all on Netflix.
We'll just pretend they are. We're right.
Right? Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of Talkie Tuesday, the Quarantine Edition, Episode 3. Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Bumblebee, Man of Medan,
Transformers,
Star Wars, lightsaber, Quarantini, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, there we go. We wrapped it up.
Nailed it.
All right, everybody, you have a great rest of your week.
Stay good, stay safe.
Get outside and get some vitamin D if you can.
Or, like me, don't, because no bueno.
Or if you have a window nearby, just, you know, get some from out the window.
Press your face against it. Hope that sunlight gets you. Woo!
Just suntan from inside.
All right, y'all, but stay safe. Have a great day, and we will see you next Tuesday. Hopefully,
you bet.
Everything's going to plan so far, but I'm very skeptical. Everything's going down the drain, but it's okay.
Bye! Bye!
Goodbye!
Monkey
and
slap. That was good harmonizing.